What's up, everybody? It's your boy Bill Forster, and happy Tuesday with a special edition of Real Talk Chronicles. Today, I have the pleasure interviewing a wonderful, dynamic woman uh, that I met some years ago, and she was in corporate America. But when I met her, she already had her own business, and I thought that was just like wonderful to see a woman doing multiple things and still able at that time to make time for the things that she found out to be very important to her. Um, I want everybody also out there to know this is Real Talk Chronicles, and I'm your host, Bill Forster. And today I will be interviewing my wife
Me,
on you.
I'm in the hot seat.
You in the hot seat today, doll face. You
I
know what
love
I'm
it.
saying?
Yes.
So I will be interviewing you to find out all about soft illusions, all about design interactions, all the things, and what it's like to
Hey,
be
dog face.
a black business owner, starting your own business, and things of that magnitude. What's up, Colin? Hello, Tina. How are you, everybody? Thank you all for chiming in. This segment is uh-oh, there she is. Yep. This segment is all about entrepreneurship. We got Doji in the house. What's up, Doji? I see you chiming in from YouTube. Appreciate you. Doji, we might have to get you on too because you are a business owner. So we will have to get that all. Vonda's in the building. So without further ado, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I ask you to like it, share it, subscribe to YouTube. Um, Oliver Gray, I see you. You on? I see you, OG. Yes, I'm here. I see you, Oliver.
Hey,
Um,
OG.
so, without further ado, I would like to introduce the co-owner, my wife, Miss Malika Vaughn Forster. And please tell everybody about yourself, young lady. Go.
Well, hello, Bill Foster. Long time no see.
Isn't that something?
Before I introduce myself, I have to just say something really funny. You were like, "Oh, aren't we going to be in the same room for this interview?" Not today.
All right. That's right. We go separate, you know. Well, first, let
Mhm.
me just tell everybody out there, and I'll be talking about this tomorrow, due to the shooting in Philadelphia. Um, we chose not to be at the gallery. We would have been at the gallery. The gallery is not in Philly, but it is
Let me
might be
correct you, and I forgive me. I just have to correct you on one little thing. It actually is in Philly. I know you're kind
uh,
of getting accustomed to PA, but it's in, and I'll tell everyone about this, but it's in a small section of Philly called Manayunk. It's an Indian name, a little tricky to pronounce. But thank you for mentioning that, Bill. Yeah, we were planning to have a different background, different setting for today's show, but it's all good. Yeah, due to the events that happened in Philly last night, safety first. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But thank you for having me on as your guest. I
you, you're
this
welcome.
I appreciate it. So
Uh,
yes, I'm
well,
sorry. Were you gonna say
I just
something?
wanted to shout out everybody that's chiming in. Dana, Jason James, Karen Burrell. Shout out to everybody that's chiming in. It's going to be a good interview. I get to interview with my wife on her business endeavors, and later on, I'll ask her what it's like to be married to
Oh, geez.
you know who.
That's a good one. Let's stick in for that part.
Easy. Not inside. All right. So
Bill,
please tell everybody about Malika Vaughn, who Malika Vaughn is, where she's from, how did she get into this business? What is Malika Vaughn? Who is she? Please.
how much time do we have? I have a lot to tell.
It's a short
Look,
show
don't
too.
Don't shortcut me.
I won't. I won't. I won't. I won't.
Well, thank you everyone for joining our special show. So, a couple weeks ago, we came up with the idea of having another segment of Real Talk Chronicles, and it's the business segment. And a lot of people, hopefully, are learning that I am a small business owner, have been for quite some time. So, this segment of our show is to highlight different small business owners. So last week, my very first guest was Audrey Watson of the Rum Cake Kitchen. We had a great conversation about breast cancer awareness and also her business. So this week, I figured this is a hot week for us. Some special events happened in the last couple days. I turned 50. Yay! I'm still celebrating that.
Go, go, shorty. It's your birthday.
So yes, I share a birthday with my beautiful mom and business partner. So that was Sunday. And yeah, the big 5-0. It feels great. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like, but I'm loving it so far. So the birthday, and then Facebook is great with memories. So 3 years ago today, you, Bill Foster, kind of weighed my hand down a little bit.
Yeah. I
Just
did
a
that.
little bit.
I did that. I did a little something with that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's one of the good things about Facebook is that it reminds us of what happened. And exactly 3 years ago today, Bill proposed to me at Cove Lounge in Harlem. So
Shout out to Cole in the
shout
building.
out to Aaliyah, Billy, everybody at Cove up in
Yeah,
Harlem.
Kendall. Yeah, the staff,
And
the whole crew.
incredible night.
Exactly.
Yes, incredible night. So it was great to look back on the videos. Thank you, Ruthie. I think Ruthie and Marquita were the first to post those memories. So that was cool. To
Right, right,
that.
right.
Good memories. So yes, a little bit about myself. I am originally from North Philadelphia. Like Will Smith says, West Philadelphia, born and raised. I'm North Philly all day. So I'm born and raised in North Philly 50 years ago, and raised by a single mom. My mom, Diane, who is watching. Hi, mom.
Hello, mommy.
Yes, mommy. Just an incredible inspiration. My mom raised me on her own, and with the help of my late grandmother and other relatives, I watched her work two jobs. My mom was a part-time art teacher, and then she switched over from substitute to a full-time position as an art teacher, raising a young girl on her own. She also worked part-time at Strawbridge and Clothier, which is no longer around, department store in Philadelphia down on 8th and Market. And I also watched her put herself through graduate school. She got her master's degree. So sometimes my mom would take me with her to school, or if I wasn't there with her, I would go over to my grandmother's house. We were thick as thieves. So my grandmother helped raise me, and I come from a background of very, very strong, independent women. Very, very proud of that. So
I trust me. I know. Oh, sorry. That's later on. So go ahead.
yeah, but I've told you this before. I've always said to you that I wish that I would have gotten a chance to meet your mom. I'm always asking questions about her and, looking at the pictures to learn about her. And I always wish you could have met my grandma. She was incredible. And you know how we laugh all the time? My grandmother and I would just laugh. I mean, she just had such good energy, a great woman. So yeah, that's why I am as vibrant and passionate as I am because of my upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. I know you talk about, I mean, I know that, but maybe the listening audience doesn't know that. First, let me just shout out everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, and today I introduce my co-host, my partner, my life partner, Malika Vaughn Forster. But we're talking about Black businesses, and we're talking about the anniversary of SoftIllusions.net, and we're talking about the creation of DesignInteractions.net. But also, we'll give you a little insight into who she is and how she came to this part in her life. I just want to shout out everybody. We got Hollister in the building. We got John Easley, Anita, Barry, I see you. Tony Herbert is in the building. Yvette Haywood, Dana Jones. What's going on? Damian Adams. Shout out to you. Sue Haas, I see you. Genevieve, Margaret, Lisa Jones, Lenora, Aaliyah. Uh,
Wow.
Aaliyah Short in the building. That's my old people's from Bronx Narcotics days. Carol Adams, Lisa Davis is in the building. So Lucky, we shout you out. All the love, appreciate you. You know, Tina King is in the building. Of course, I shouted out Colin, our faithful. This is Real Talk Chronicles. This is
Hi,
about
Colin.
uh, black business owners. This segment is on the Tuesday special edition. I'm interviewing Malika Forster. And Malika, so you said something that was very important. And shout out Earl DeLesline in the building, my brother, and Cheyenne Rome. You said something about your mother raising you, being a single parent with the help of your grandmother. But seeing that part of your mother, did that mold you into being very independent and becoming the woman that you are to this day?
It did. There was our house was full of love. Still is to this day.
Right, right.
And I have to tell you, being an only child, just like yourself, I didn't really feel like I was an only child because we lived on a small block and, we all had friends and hung out on each other's porches and steps and played with each other. And all the parents chipped in to look out for everyone. It was a great experience, but watching my mom work the way she did with a smile, I never heard her complain. And for a long time, she wasn't driving. So we would take the number 48 bus in North Philly, which was probably about a 45-minute ride from our house. First, you had to walk to the bus, take the long bus ride, and then, go on to where you needed to go downtown. But I just always admired her, always. And when I was younger, she did it with ease. So I didn't really harp on it too much. When you're a kid, you just see your parents doing stuff and that's pretty much it. But as I've gotten older, quite some time ago, I realized the struggles that, my mom and sacrifices that she made for me to be the woman that I am. And I think she did a pretty darn good job as a single parent. So,
Right.
I don't have children of my own. And I often wonder, gosh, what if I had another mouth to feed in addition to working and going to graduate school and, so forth. I know God doesn't put anything on us that we can't bear, but it helps me put things into perspective a little bit more. I don't complain, I just do.
Right. Shout out to the Bala neighbor in the building. Genevieve, thank you for the kind compliment. This is so cool. I love it. I see your boy Daryl Tillman is in the building.
Hi, Daryl.
Chandra Daniels is in the building. So shout out everybody that's watching this Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Will Forster, and I'm interviewing Malika Forster. Please, when I talk, don't interrupt me. Thank you.
Oh, you don't need to talk, sir. You don't need to talk.
So, when I first met you, I remember asking you a question about what is it that someone would say, you know, like if you were dating somebody, what would they say would be a problem in your relationship, or people say that you do too much. And you told me unequivocally right out the gate, you said, I work too hard. And that's a testament from your mother, right? I think because like you said, you saw her work multiple jobs to provide for you. And it just seems like you came out the gate when I met you, you were teaching at a college, you were working in corporate America, and you were doing soft illusions, which we'll definitely get back to later on. Shout out to Junior Blake. Delcina said being a single parent can break you, but you work hard because you love your child. Absolutely. And we're probably going to do a show on that one day on single parenting, you know? So, but go ahead, elaborate on that. Like, what was it like to work in corporate America, run back and forth to Philly all the time, um, deal with soft illusions at that time, uh, and then embarking on a relationship with me?
Yeah, that was a whole other job, Dad.
Oh,
It was a good job. I like that job, but
yeah.
So yeah, Bill, honestly, like I said, I never complain, and when I get tired, I sit down and rest. But I'm pretty much, I don't know, it's something in me, and I know it comes from watching my mom, that I just have this drive. I just do. So, for example, years ago, I worked in Delaware. I was living in Philly, working in Delaware. So the drive for me was maybe about 50 minutes to an hour every single day. Rain, snow, or shine, I did it. And then I decided to get my graduate degree. Um, Excuse me, let me back up for a second. I was already teaching part time at Community College of Philadelphia. So I worked in Delaware, and then I would come back to Philly to teach my class, and it was just depended on what day of the week. It was night classes, and then when I got the bright idea to get my master's degree, I still continued to teach at the college. So
What you get your master's in? What you get your degrees in?
instructional design and technology, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But I basically develop training programs for corporate, but now that's what I do on my own, develop training and web design programs.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so that was something that I did, and I have to tell you, back then, I was in a relationship, but it wasn't a very supportive one. And
Right.
I joked around and said, you were a job, but everyone knows it's only so many hours in a day that we have to juggle, and either you have a supportive partner or you don't. You don't. So yeah, so that's what life was like for me way before I met you, and
So,
then
so let me ask you a question though. You were
yes,
saying what you were doing, you were juggling stuff and things like of that magnitude.
yeah.
And you also talk about not being in a supportive relationship.
Mhm.
Um, I let me know in the beginning of our relationship and to this day, I think I was been very supportive. Have I or have not? Seriously.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes. No, no, and I appreciate that. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, we are still together to this day, because, you know, the things that I do are important in addition to my relationship. I
Right,
have goals and dreams just like most other people. And there are certain
right,
things that you have to do and certain sacrifices of time that you have to make to get certain things.
right.
For instance, if I'm teaching a class at night, or working on someone's website, that means that I'm not sitting on the couch watching a movie. Now, granted, that's not all the time,
Right, right.
but
Yeah.
there is a trade-off. So it's interesting. I just want to tell a little bit about the story of how I even got to New York, because Joe left this out, and I had reminded him a couple weeks ago that we had just opened up the art gallery in Philly in 2010, so 10 years ago, and I was just running an errand, and I got a call from my very good friend, my godbrother Joe Moore, and he said, I don't care what you're doing, just stop and send me your resume right now. But okay. So I sent them my resume. It was a position for Morgan Stanley. It was a 9-month job there up in New York. And I'm like, okay, I had no desire to go to New York, wasn't interested. But, money talks. So I got the interview. And my girlfriend Gina went with me to just for the ride. So I left the interview trying to find my way back to the tunnel to get out of that city, and I get the call from Joe, and he's like, Malika, you got the job.
Mm,
Yeah, that was quite an experience. So the next week I had to start. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't know my way around. And for a whole month, I commuted back and forth from Philly to New York for work until I found an apartment. So
wow.
we owe it to Joe. We owe it to Joe, because otherwise I would not have been in New York. I wouldn't have known about the job. I wouldn't have been there. And then 4 years later, look, I met you.
Exactly. So let me ask you a question. So, like, were you apprehensive about like embarking on taking a position in New York? I mean, I know you talked about you were working in Delaware at one point, living in Philly, but what about going to New York, which was a couple of hours away? It's, were you apprehensive about that move?
Very much so, Bill. I was. Like I said, I'm ambitious. I'm willing to try different things, but remember, I didn't know anyone in New York. I didn't know anybody. All I knew was I got a great paying job. It's only for 9 months. I just kept telling myself, it's just for 9 months. I'll just do it and then come back. So, one of my coworkers who, turned out to be a great friend, one day he pulled me aside and he said, you're going to kill yourself. Because I was tired. It was only maybe 2 weeks or so in. And, I was doing a good job on time every day. I stayed the whole day. But I didn't realize how tired I was. And that's when my manager, pulled me to the side and told me about a website where you can find sublet an apartment. And I got lucky. I got an apartment on the Upper West Side, was able to move in right away. It was a good situation for me because I didn't know anyone in New York. I didn't need to be there on the weekend. So, it worked out. And, as things would have it, people say New York, it grabs you, right? It's something about New York. And that's what happened to me. So towards the end of that 9-month contract, I started feeling like, yeah, I think I want to stay here a little bit longer. And I applied and, was able to get another job pretty quickly and got my own apartment on the
So
east.
what's so funny? I think at that time, I think it was great to embark on New York. I think that's when Harlem was bubbling and gentrification
Mhm.
was at an all-time high, and Harlem was the place to be. And also too, like you said, you're embarking on a new career. So a lot of people don't know that you to me, I tell people that when you do anything, when you make money, if you do anything and you don't get paid for it, it's a hobby. If you do something and you make money on it, then it's a business. But you have taken your uh, talents into corporate America that some can't even question because you were teaching it, and then you were also uh, deemed like an expert in these companies that you work for. Uh, just give people a little idea of some of the companies that you work for in New York City.
Yeah, so I started at Morgan Stanley. I did a 9-month contract with them. And then right after that, I landed a job, again, a consulting position, but this was with Turner Broadcasting, which is, CNN. So I worked a contract with them for probably about a year. And then I went over to JP Morgan. So that was actually my second time with JP Morgan. It's when I was in Delaware. I worked for JP Morgan. I was there for 5 years. I was working there when I met you.
Right.
And, and then and then I went back to Morgan Stanley.
Right, right.
And that took me up to December of last year. And I've been very consistent with the jobs that I've been doing, just at different companies. So I've always worked in training. I've always delivered face-to-face training via like a remote program like WebEx. I've also developed training materials. I can do that pretty much in my sleep. And
Yeah.
so how I started with that is I used to teach web design. That was one of the classes that I taught in Philly. So I've been, had my hands in technology for many, many years. Funny thing is, I don't know if I've ever told you this, Bill, but when I first went to college, I went to Widener University, but my major was engineering. So
Really? I think you might have told me that. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be an engineer and I loved it, but I also had a love for technology. So that's when I switched over to it. Yeah, so those are some of the jobs. I've worked for some big companies. As my friend Daryl says, we do big things. Just doing what I do at those different places. So
Awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. So let's give me some insight. All right. So now you're teaching college. You're working up in New York.
yeah,
Let us know.
teaching at the college. So when I met you, I don't know if you remember, I was still teaching. I was working at JP Morgan in New York. I was
Right.
teaching an online class for the college, and I was teaching a class on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I remember. I
And
do.
we had a date on Friday night. We had to cut it short because I had
Yeah,
to get early and drive to teach my class.
absolutely. I remember. And then,
Yeah.
like I said, okay. So bring us up to. how does soft illusions come to fruition? You're doing all these multiple things. Now, I think when I met you, soft illusions was already in existence, of course. But bring us how to you and your mother collaborated on getting to soft illusions.
So I've always had a desire for owning my own business. And I have to tell you, when my mom, she was coming up on like 30 years of teaching in the Philadelphia school district. And, over the last couple of years, she kept painting, 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 and people were becoming more and more interested in her work. So much so that she would say, "Oh, here, you can have one. You can have one." They said, "Oh, Miss Vaughn, I really like that." And my mom's so sweet. She would just give them a painting. And I never forget, I was sitting at work in Delaware and I'm like, "Stop." It's like, just charge them something. Don't just give them a painting away. So
Right, right.
yeah, so I begged my mom to retire. There were changes that were taking place in the school board, and I personally didn't feel comfortable with her being there anymore, and I felt as if she can do more on her own. So a year later, well, we started the business. We started Soft Illusions Fine Art Gallery in the summer of 2010, and my mom retired in June of 2011. So I was working, like I said, in Delaware. Then I think I was still working in Delaware. I'm forgetting, but I was teaching at the college and running the business. So we had help, at the art gallery to manage it. And it was an amazing day, the day that my mom retired, for her to leave the school and come right on over to her art gallery. I mean, how incredible is that? So she used to have her artwork at home, stacked up.
Mhm.
And then to be able to hang it around in the art. This is one of her pieces behind me. By the way, I'm trying to
Is that the piece right there behind it? You want to point to
yeah.
it? You want to point to
Look,
it?
by the way, this is one of her pieces behind me.
Yeah.
But
Hold
that's
on.
incredible. Mhm.
Hold on, everybody. Thank you. This is Real Talk Chronicles. You're listening to Malika Forster tell her story on entrepreneurship. Um, we're gonna say being married to me. I know that's just said right there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that's watching. Everybody's chiming in. Shout out to my boy JC, Robert, little brother. What's going on? I see you. So many nice compliments. Dana
I hope
Jones
I'm
talking
not
about
boring them with
inspiring.
that
People
story.
are talking about.
They're
I
not
hear you.
bored, are they?
No, I hear you echoing. No, and they're talking about. Nabala said your college. Both of y'all went to the same college.
No way, Nabala.
Yeah. When what is it? Weird.
Wider, wider.
Yeah. My tongue get twisted. I tear it up.
I know.
Whiner. Yeah. So yeah. So
Oh,
Nabala, you and Nabala both went to that college. Isn't that something? So that's
wow,
what's
isn't
up.
that something?
So all right. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Where was the? Did anybody have a little fear factor in opening up this business? You or your mother, or were you apprehensive or anything? Talk about that for me.
Yeah, we were definitely. I mean, anytime you embark on a new challenge, it's scary. You never know. And it's an investment. It's a financial investment. It's an investment in time and energy. So, but that didn't stop us, it didn't stop us. So, do your research. We researched it out. We found a great location. And it was a great experience just starting something new with my mom. So it's one thing
Okay.
to start your own business and you're all by yourself doing it, but to work with a relative and, oh, you're my mom at that, it was great. So I have to tell you, when we first opened up the business, my original plan was not just to represent my mom. I was planning to represent other artists, and I did start doing that. And, you know, fast forward when I got hired in Morgan Stanley up in New York, time, right? I didn't have time to manage my mom as well as all the other people that, were coming to me. It was great. I like managing, obviously, but I'm also very realistic in what I'm able to dedicate my time and energy to. So at that point, I saw that things were going very well with sales with just her work, and we made the decision to just solely carry her artwork in Soft Illusions Art Gallery. And it's been that way ever since.
Mm. So you don't have a problem working with other artists, but you just manage this one artist, and that works easier for you guys because, like I said, business has been pretty good for you guys, which is a great thing, and
Yeah, I mean, I'm one person, absolutely. So, I talk to people all the time, and I always welcome artists to reach out to us and show us their work, tell us what their ideas are. I'll definitely share as much information as I know, and also help connect people. But in terms of actually managing other artists, I just don't have the bandwidth to do so.
right, right, right. Well, I think that is a tall task to take on too. I'm assuming, to help manage other people. So, I mean, that's awesome. So, all right, how was it going into the art? Tell tell people what it's like to go into the art world. Is the art world racist? I mean, I don't know. Um, I know one thing when I'm at the gallery with you and I see some people walk by. Sometimes people look, especially when you're at the gallery, and where the gallery is located is kind of like for anybody in the New York area, it's like kind of where the gallery is located in what's the town again?
Manioc.
Yeah, that'll tear me up. Yeah, where it's located, it has a village s like aura to it, and sometimes I see people walking by. And then when they see people in color in the gallery, they kind of like, oh, okay, they keep walking, but you can't turn away from the art. And I will tell a funny story for everybody out there. When I first met Malika, she's telling me about she had the gallery and stuff. So, black people, black and brown people, we always act like, yeah, somebody said, oh, I got a gallery. I got a gallery. Like, yeah, okay. Okay, I'm figuring she got like a little booth at the Mart or something, or 125 or 116th Street, with like two curtains and a bunch of pictures hanging up on some
No,
hangers.
not them though.
Wait,
They're
wait, wait a minute,
hustlers.
and it's no disrespect to anybody starting that way, but we always looking at our own like, yeah, okay, I figured she trying to impress me. I told you I liked you. You ain't had to try to sell me your dreams too and think you tell me you own your own business, right? So she's like, yo, eventually we getting closer. And she's like, "Oh, come with me to the gallery." So I was like, "You sure you want me to come down there now?" Because Malika always says, I don't have any filter on my tongue. So I said, I go down there. I was like, "This might make a break us because I'll blast you." You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this to myself. So we riding in the Philly. We riding down, riding down the highway. We talking, having laughs, and stuff. So now we're going through this part of town. Like I said, has like a Soho vibe to it. So now we pull up to the thing. So now I knew the name of the gallery. So then we drive it up and I see it. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, she really has a gallery. Like this is a real art gallery, right? And to walk in and then see all the art and then to see two women that own it, it really like it I thought it was just beautiful to honestly see why you were running down in Philly so much. And now the picture was painted in full. But everybody, when I realized that my woman was doing her thing like that, I came home, I gave her the extra love, and I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna let this one go. She's a winner. I'm gonna keep it. Because now, you know, it's one thing for you to come to the table with something, but now you see somebody else coming to the table with equal stuff, which makes you, happy to say, well, now I can build with this person. So I just wanted to say that I said it all, but I haven't told the whole world that. So yeah, it was right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said
Daryl says you guys are inspiring me, enjoying the show. We way down here in Louisiana, Mother Vaughn's story sounds much like my story. That's what's up. Um,
is that the
shout
young
out.
man that you spoke to earlier today?
Yes, 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 yes.
Daryl? Yeah, please
Yeah,
reach
yeah.
out. I mean, I would love to talk to you, my mom as well. Because that's the interesting part. And I am by no means an artist. I always get asked the question, do you paint too? Because my mom creates these incredible pieces
Mhm.
and I paint walls, right? But I don't. So, I'm the business side of it. She does
Yeah,
all the artwork and I'm the techie, business person to it. But a lot of artists are like that, where they really just want to paint and be happy and, paint some more and be happy. And that's it. and it's totally fine. But you have to, do your research, and if you really want your artwork to become a business, then you have to either shift your mindset a little bit more, to incorporate that, or partner with someone who's able to help you out.
And we're going to talk about that in 1 second. Hold on, everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. Today, I get the chance to interview my wife, Malika Forster, on being a Black business owner, an entrepreneur, and also starting her own business, another business, on top of being married to me, which I'm sure is a job in its own. But it's okay. Shout out to Marquetta. You laughing at me at about the flea market? Yeah, I know I'm a hot mess. Colin said, Malika, you should do a virtual art gallery show one day. It's something that's good. That's
I
a
think
beautiful
that's a
idea.
great idea. I like that idea, and I've been thinking about what else we can do that's online. So thank you for that, Colin.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sandra Daniels said, the only mother and daughter Black owned art gallery in Philadelphia. Historic. That's a true story. Carla Anderson is in the building. Tina said, I've known Malika for 50 years and she has always had a priority straight. Always. Exactly. That's why she married me, Tina. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
She wasn't gonna let me go. She knew what she was doing. She was getting all this goodness. You know what I'm saying?
Mama, close your ears, Mama.
Hello, mommy. You know what I'm saying? So this is Real Talk Chronicles, everybody. I appreciate you all for chiming in, listening to Malika Vaughn's story in this segment on a special edition of Tuesday. We're doing Black business owners, or we're doing small business owners, not just Black business owners, but we're
Yeah.
doing small business owners. So please, if you have your own business, please reach out to Malika and myself. So Malika will be interviewing you. Miss Fields, or Mr. is in the fields. I didn't put my glasses on. What's going on? I see you in the building. Cora in the building. Gary is in the building. Everybody, just shout out to
Hi.
all of you. Uh, Daryl said, you are the brains behind the success. We are the creators of the craft. Thank you, Mr. Forster, for the invite. Absolutely, Daryl. So, that's a beautiful thing. And that's what my segue was into. You just gave Daryl some advice, and we were talking to Daryl earlier. But how great was it that you could take your business acumen and implement it into the business, and your mother just worry about the craft? Like that worked hand in hand pretty good, right?
No, it definitely did. And, think about it. A lot of people go to school. I have my 2 degrees, and you learn all this stuff, but to actually be able to put it into practice, to implement it into something that I feel so passionate about. Because
Right.
yeah, think about it, Bill. Soft illusions. Obviously, it was about starting up the business, but there were a lot of motivators that I had, a lot of motivating factors, right? So I wanted to make sure that my mom retired, but not only retired, I wanted to make sure that she continued with her passion. And I wanted her to do it in a safe environment, somewhere where she can make some money, that would be
Right,
good.
right.
Um, but I was watching her grow as an artist, because the work that you see now, it looks nothing like what I saw when we first started. But
What do you mean? Elaborate.
she grew. Her talent, her work has grown. So and she'll, I know, Mom, I know she'll say the same thing, that if she looks at something from 10, 20 years ago, it's like, oh, I did that. But just like people grow, people who create things,
Yeah,
you're
her talent went to another level. Yeah,
a whole nother level. I mean,
because what's so funny,
crazy.
Diane, I know you're listening. I know since you've met me, I know how much I've inspired you to just get creative with the. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just. I know I'll hear about that tomorrow. Shout out to everybody that's watching. My man Tony Castillo in the billion. What's going on, Tony? Marquita, thank you. Love you guys. Barry said, I think it would be a great idea to be a national art tour and display works for Black artists, obtain sponsorship to finance a tour, travel to the large cities. Absolutely. That's a great idea. A shout out to everybody that's watching. Carla said, yes, Malika has 4 jobs, and you're one of them, Bill. You're right. You're right. I definitely is. 'Cause,
That's
for those
hilarious.
for those that don't know, Malika does has started. Tony always says this, and Kenny Woods. They always say how Malika uh, is the backbone, the techie behind Real Talk Chronicles, and it's so funny. We've had our own discussions, and Malika will be like, "Yo, listen." Maybe you need to hire somebody because we start clashing because for those who don't know, like I said, I come from a promotional background, event planner, and we'll start my creative juices start flowing, and Malika's creative juices start flowing, and it just is that yours? Is that yours making that noise? So you'll hear static. The creative juices start flowing. I don't know either. And we just start collaborating, and it's fun banter because she'll be like you said, maybe you need to go get another person. I'm like, all right, that's when the only little kids come in us, I'll be like, well, I'll get somebody too, and you'll get somebody too, and it is so cute. So, but
Bill, I want to touch on something because you did ask me about the neighborhood that the art gallery is in. And I'm not sure if I mentioned to you, but the location that we're in now is actually our second location. So
okay,
we started down the street from where we are, and then about maybe 5 or 6 years into it, that building went up for sale, and we opted to move, up the street. So it wasn't a big deal, not far of a move. But in terms of the neighborhood and the clientele and we get people from all over, and all types of nationalities are attracted to my mom's work, and also age ranges. So there are a lot of people who will walk by and not even look, um, not even blink. They just have tunnel vision because they're not attracted to it. And we decided a long time ago that's fine because those people who are attracted to the artwork will stop. They will look at it. And one thing that we started saying years ago about my mom's art, I call it feel good art. It makes you feel good. So either you like it or you don't. We don't do hard sales and try and push it, down somebody. I personally don't like being treated that way, and I never want to treat someone that way. But
right, right.
we can tell when someone is truly drawn to her work. And then they start saying, oh, I think I see a bird, or is that a particular type of flower? And we're just looking like, no. But, whatever they see.
You'd be like, I just say, yeah, if you want to pay, you want to see birds and clouds and squirrels, whatever. What do you call that the art?
So her type of art is called abstract expressionism, meaning
Okay,
you can see it's full of colors. Some things, you'll just see a flower vase or a boat, and that's totally fine. But my mom doesn't paint objects. I've asked her, plenty of people have asked her, Miss Vaughn, did you mean for it to come out like that? No, not at all. It's just whatever she's feeling. I think that her emotions and her energy just come out on the paper, and honestly, it's amazing to watch.
I remember one time when I was asking your mother, and I was like, being me, and I was plucking her brain, and I asked her, I said, like, what's your inspiration, and like when you paint, because she basically paints every day. A lot of people don't know that. And I was
Yes.
like, well, what do you do? And she says she really just gets there. And I guess I'm referring it into a reference of like how we would say, for those old cats, we would say doodling. But, I guess like the brush just starts flowing, and it just goes and goes and goes. And then you get the beautiful painting. Because the painting behind you and the painting behind me, for people out there can see it. It's right there, everybody. Look, right there, over there. I just want to read something. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, and I'm interviewing my wife, Malika Foster. I wanted to read some things that, shout out to everybody that's chiming in, saying hi, Cora Mayo in the building. But, Tina said some things that were so true, I just couldn't believe it. So I just wanted to read it out loud. She said, Bill, you are doing a wonderful job. Since you came into her life, I have never seen her happier. I love you, Bill. I love you too, Tina. I just know, I took Malika to another level. Everybody, let me stop. Anita said, Miss Diane's creations are so beautiful and effortless, and she has a huge catalog of work. Thank you. Let's do that. Thank you, Cora. It's a blessing to work together. Tina said, shine, shine, Bill. When you mention Malika, your face lights up. Yeah, that's true. Sean just said, a marriage living on purpose, using each other's skills and greatness to lift each other. Thank you. Hector Rodriguez in the building. Gary said, what is her favorite type of paint used, Malika?
Yep, so my mom paints with acrylic paint, and she'll say there's a lot of dispersion. See, Mom, this is why I wanted you here. But it's acrylic, and it's layers and layers. So if you could actually get a close up of that, if you could see it, there are so many layers of paint and different colors on it, and the textures. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Now, that's a great question, Gary. And Carla said, it is an amazing talent and eye that Miss Diana has truly inspirational love for. Um, give us the people out here that don't know anything about painting. Holly said, intuitive expression, absolutely beautiful. Linda Mann is in the building. What's up, Linda? The dancing machine. So give us the people that don't know that haven't any knowledge about paint. Like, are there different types of paint that people use for like canvas? Like, go ahead, elaborate on that for me, please.
I mean, think about it. Like we just painted our house, right? And so, oh wait, you weren't there.
No, I was there. I was there. I painted. I'm saying.
Oh wait, I don't know. No one saw you paint. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, we did it. We painted it. But when you go to the store, they'll ask you, well, what are you painting? Which room or what type? All right.
No, Collins wanted to see the art. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that one I have to swap out because of
Yeah.
the,
All right.
yeah. But so yeah, there's different types of paint. So some people paint with oil, and they love painting with oil. I've never seen my mom use oil paint. I don't think she particularly cares for it. So yeah, there are different types. I can tell you that
Good
there's
question. Somebody,
yes.
um, Lois asked, "What's the address?" I know we want to get to it later on, but can you just give a plug to the address of where?
Oh yeah. So we're plugging down at the bottom of the screen. The website address is softillusions.net for the art gallery, but the physical address in Philly is 4226 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA. 4226 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA.
Awesome.
Website as well. Yep.
So, I remember when we weren't married yet. I don't think you did an anniversary, and we had to shout out to the New York family that came down. And due to COVID, we didn't have one, but I think that we did two since we've been together. And elaborate on what was the whole gist of that idea doing those anniversary functions.
So it's interesting you say that because the first year of the business, I mean, I love planning events and having fun, and I love music. So the first year, I think it was almost every month, we would have a reception. So, I wanted to get other businesses. There were like two, maybe one or two other art galleries on our block. And I really wanted us to do something like the first, whatever, like certain neighborhoods will have first Fridays. I wanted us to get together and do stuff. But they didn't do it. I don't care. We did it anyway. So I would bring in musicians once a month, and I would have, little hors d'oeuvres, and it would draw people into the gallery, and they would take a look. We were able to make sales from it. So that's something that we did, just to drum up business. Does that answer your question? Because I have something I have to show you.
Go ahead, show me, Miss Foster.
So one thing I want to mention to you is, I've never ran an art gallery, right? When I first started, I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I kind of went by, what I would like to see. And in terms of levels, right? We always talk about there's different levels to it. I wanted to approach my mom's work from the perspective of we wanted it to be affordable for everyone. So, we didn't achieve that in the first year because everything was, big, and she used to paint a little bit smaller, and then they got bigger and bigger. And then we came up with an idea of having different products. So one thing I'm showing you is a card. And this is actually a hand painted card. You can see it's a bit of shine on it, right? But this is a painting. Like there's texture. You can feel it. This is an actual painting and it's on a blank card so that someone can just write their own little note. So we sell these little cards for $10. And it's so funny because people will purchase these to send to people, but then they'll say, well, I actually want to keep it for myself. I like it so much. It's a great gift. So they come in these little pearlescent envelopes, which were really funky. They have a little sheen to them, and they're nice. So someone
Hold,
can get
hold
an
on.
original piece of
I have a
art.
question. Hold on, sweetie. I have a
Yeah,
question. Um, uh, um, uh, um, excuse me. I'm having a mental block right now.
realize
Um,
it, sweetie.
well, we get questions and everything, but everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I appreciate you all for chiming in. Um, I'm interviewing my wife today. This is a beautiful thing. I get to hear the story. I think I heard it too, but I get to hear the story of how Soft Illusions came to fruition, and the design interaction. I know how design. Uh, Nita said. Nita said, "Have you ever considered giving art classes again or doing painting with a twist?"
Good question. So we had one painting with a twist party or art party, and that was for Chandra, who's watching. It was her birthday party, probably about 2 or 3 years ago. That was a lot of fun. That's something that I wasn't able to continue doing since I was working full time, scheduling. But yeah, I see people having art parties all the time. They look like a lot of fun. It's definitely a good money generator. But I'm going to leave that up to my mother. Just
Mm.
she wants to continue doing that.
So, with that being said, let's get back to some of the stuff that
So
you
yeah,
have.
show and tell, right? So these cards are cool. People can get an original piece of art for $10.
And Gary said she kept hers, but I guess she must have bought it for somebody, but she kept hers. And
I'm
Carla
not
said, yes.
surprised, Gary. So those are the single cards, and then we also offer a 4 pack. So there are four. These are like little note cards that are in here. So they come in this little pack. Sometimes people want to mix and match. That's totally fine. But I forget the price of this. This stuff is on the website, but it's really cool. So the other thing I want to show you are the calendars. So about maybe 4 years ago, we came up with the idea of making a calendar. So this is last year's calendar. This year's will be out in about 2 weeks. But we have the calendars printed on photo paper. So it feels really, really soft and smooth. And I think you're able to see the sheen here. But the size of the pages are 10 by 10. So we wanted to make a calendar that was also art. So people tend to, rip the pages off at the end of the year and they have frameable art. So you have 12 pieces of art that you're getting in a calendar. You see that shine? So it's on photo paper, just like a picture, right? It's on photo paper. Very, very smooth.
And people can keep those after the the month is
Absolutely.
gone, and put them in a little frame if they want. Correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, these are great. They last for a lifetime, right? It's not just the calendar, it's actually the print too. So you're getting 12 prints in the calendar that you can easily pop into a frame for $35. So we sell these, and then we have the little ones. It's in the other room, but it's just like a little desktop calendar. And the images mimic this one. So this
And
has
so,
been a big seller for us.
right.
Huge seller are the calendars. So this is
Yeah.
what it looks like.
As beautiful as they are, I'm sure people are ready to get out of 2020. So I know you guys will be coming up with some beautiful stuff for 2021.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. 2020, good things, but some not so good things happening as well, right? Can I
Oliver said he wants one for 2021. Absolutely, Oliver.
got it?
Holl-
Okay.
Hollister and Barry had said definitely about paint and sip. Gary said I framed mine and hung them around my desk at work. That's beautiful. Tina said you can frame them. I have about 12 in frames. Love them. Carla, yes, it's about time for my new calendar. Absolutely. Marquita, beautiful. Um, Love it. Thank you. Thank you. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I'm interviewing Malika for Steph. you know, and we are talking about entrepreneurship, uh, small business owners doing their thing in the world today. Um, Show us what else you got, and then I have another question for you.
Okay. So excited. The next things, I mean, I'm excited about all of them. I have a few more things to show you. But so, obviously with the pandemic, we're not getting as many people walking into the gallery. So we've
Well,
been,
hold that thought. That's the beautiful thing. Now, that was my question. I was going to ask you, how did the pandemic affect you guys?
so we were closed, just like a lot
Right.
of other businesses. We were closed for 3 months solid. One thing about the art gallery is my mom is there as well. So is her studio as well as our art gallery. So she did have, the liberty to go in and, paint for a couple hours and then go back home and stay safe. That was, the most important thing. She just kept the sign closed. So we've reopened. Thankfully, some sales have come in. I think people are looking for some of that feel good art, right? But we're also trying to increase our product line, some other items that people can purchase on our website that are both affordable and, well, I think it's all affordable. So I want to show you this little baby here. So it's a little book. It is a 4x4 book. I'm trying to make sure I get it right in the camera. And there are images. So a lot of the images that you just saw, or some of them that you saw in the calendar, are actually in here.
Now,
And
let me ask you a question about this book. Is it like a book you take notes, or like a
no,
a reminder calendar, or it's just something
no,
that you? Excuse me.
this is no,
Okay.
there is no calendar. It's just something that you can flip through and look at. I've kept this on my desk. This is one of the first ones that we got in. And I just flip through it. Like when I'm on a conference call and I want to feel good about that moment, I just flip through and look at it. So it's really cute. It's only a 4x4 and you can see it fits in the palm of my hand. This is the very first one that we've done and we're only selling these bill for 25 bucks.
Okay. And,
About
and like you said, it's a feel good thing, right?
exactly.
So when I'm not here and you think about me, you just start flipping through the calendar, that book and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. So I know you've been working hard. What other little surprises do you have in
Oh
store for
yeah. So
people?
this little baby is going up on the website tomorrow. That's our mini book.
And Marquetta said she would be going on the website. And the website for all those, it is at the bottom. Isn't that softillusions.net, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So Bill, check this out. So look, you can see it's reflecting. This is mom's artwork printed on metal. Look at that.
Hmm.
So there are, I mean, obviously we can do any of her images and we can have it printed on metal because we usually just have the images printed on canvas. But I'm
And
turning it so you can see how thin it is, and then it comes with this nice mount. So it's a bracket that's already on there.
is that special? Is that special order only?
Uh, this actually we have it up on the website already. So
Okay.
what we did, because I mean, obviously my mom has thousands of paintings. So we started with 15 of them. So we have 15 images that people can choose from to have printed on metal.
All right.
I love this. So we first introduced this maybe about 8 or 9 months, whenever we did that reception, right?
Yeah.
We had three of them there and they sold just like that the first day. I've just gotten them and they sold just like that. But this size that I'm holding and the size that we're offering is 12 by 12. So you see it's reflecting right now off of the laptop.
Yeah.
But this is incredible. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. That's very pretty. Very nice.
It's
I like it.
it's a contemporary piece. You don't have to put anything on the back of it. It's already there. It already comes with things that you can just pop it on. So this is one of our very new pieces. I love this. And this painting was actually longer, so I had it made into three, so you can stack them or have them, spread out horizontally, or you can just simply hang one. But
Okay. All right.
adorable. It's not going anywhere. Very contemporary.
As you get the next thing you want to show us, Miss Blackman said very nice. Shout out
Thank
to
you.
everybody that is giving you props. My man Nitty's in the building. She said she said I need that over my bar. I'm about to leave the show and go to that website. Sorry, Bill. It's all right. Everybody, hold on, Malika. This is Real Talk Chronicles. Hold on, Malika. Uh,
Uh-huh.
this, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I'm interviewing my lovely wife, Malika Forster, on her being a small business owner, and we haven't even got to the other business. And then, last but not least, what it's like to be married to me. No, anyway, but anyway, go ahead, show that. That's beautiful. That's one of my favorites right there.
Oh my goodness. I have two of them. So these are acrylic blocks. I'm going to try and show them both to you at the same time. But again, we're coming up with different items that we can sell to our customers. We definitely want people to buy the original paintings, right? But we want to also offer artwork in a different, more contemporary style. So this is an acrylic block. It's 1.5 inches thick, and the artwork is printed inside the block. I
Mm,
love these.
I love this.
Aren't they? You see them.
But those are so beautiful. But back in the days, and speaking in the layman terminology, those have been a great paperweights. You know what I'm saying? To hold down
But
paper stuff like that.
it's funny that you said that because it even comes in 2x2.
Oh, look at that!
It's like the cutest little thing, right?
It is.
It's so cute. So all of these are up on the website as well. So those 15 images that we talked about, you can choose. It's so easy. You can just go to the page, say, okay, I want an acrylic block. You scroll through and you can see all the 15 pictures that you have to choose from. You say, okay, I like that one. I like Rhapsody in Blue. And then you just hit the drop down arrow, choose Rhapsody in Blue from the list, and hit add to cart. So we set it up where it's very simple, very easy to place the order, and just depending on the size. So the size of these are 4x6. Both of these are the same size, it's just a different orientation. It's a good weight. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm being very careful not to drop it. But
That's
those
it. Don't drop it.
are
Carla
six.
asked, "How much is the metal painting, Malika?"
It's on the website, Carla.
All right, Carla, go to the website and check it
Yeah, and
out. That's
the
it.
metal actually comes in different sizes as well. So right now we're only advertising the 12x12, but definitely if you need a different size in the metal, let me know and I can order it for you. So this layer is getting us, I'm gonna hold it at an angle. This is also an acrylic block, and this size is 8x10. So this is quite heavy, quite heavy indeed. So the way we have this displayed is this is just a little stand that we picked up from Michael's, and I just have it sitting in the stand.
But you don't have to put it on the stand if you
No, it
yeah,
actually, I'm gonna just tilt this down, but it's standing up by itself. So these stand,
right.
all of them stand up
Be
by.
careful with my table. Word up, what you doing?
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to have a stand, right? You can
Right.
put them by themselves. And I love these. I love them.
Yeah, I love them too. Where's the little small one? Put the little small one in there too.
And here's the little baby right here.
Yeah, I like that. That's cute.
So we have the 8x10. These two are 4x6. And then this is the 2x2. And all of this is available on the website. And they're all
Awesome,
1.5 inches thick. So
awesome.
very,
That's awesome.
very
And this year was the what anniversary was it this year?
our 10-year anniversary, Bill. I can't believe it. 10 years.
Everybody out there, let's throw up some hearts or some claps to be a black businesswoman and have 10
Yeah.
years of her own business.
Yes.
Bravo.
Thank you, sir. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
Some
And it's
thumbs,
just,
some likes, some love, please. Yeah, get the
yeah, let me know. You never know what to expect. It was just a random idea. Hey, Bill, interview me. And thank you. I appreciate that. I just want to show you one last thing. We have mugs. I love
that's
them.
it.
So the image is wrapped all the way around except for where the handle is. And I'm just going to kind of zoom in. I'll do this one first.
That's a pretty color. What
Thank
and
you.
what? Now let me ask you a question. Does Diane name these paintings, or they're just the Diane and Yvonne paintings?
That's a great question. In the
I
beginning,
know. I know.
we named everything when we first started the business. And then,
Okay.
wow, I mean, she paints every day, all day. So
Right.
it got to be a lot. But on the website, all 15 of those images are named. So it'll be easier. You know, we didn't want it to just be a number.
Right. Right.
So
So
yeah, this is a 15-ounce mug, and the other one is the bistro. So this is a larger one, and they
and,
are
and
quite
those are great. Like, what are those, like? What do they call them? Grab bags or gifts? Like, see, the
nice
beautiful thing,
items.
people understand when you want to give gifts and you want to support black business. These are like the perfect things that you can give somebody, and it is lifeless. It's timeless. It could be there forever. And the beautiful thing, it is beauty. The art will never uh, uh, go away, and somebody can look at, and it brings, like, it's like, how people do that tranquility, and like watercolors, and it's just like when you listen to Siri and they have the jazz, it's like watercolors. Those are beautiful things. I like
Thank
the
you.
one. I like the other one too. So what other little, do you have any other little small things like that you sell?
I think I've showed you all of my goodies, but yeah, these are cool. So I just want to again say the mugs are um, this smaller size is 15 ounces. So this is the 15 ounce. They're both ceramic mugs. And this one is the bistro mug. This is 18 ounces. So you'll see it's a little bit bigger. But again, you have 15 images that you can choose from. They're both on the website. The bistro mug only comes in white, but the 15-ounce you can get in either black or white. So we'll put
Okay.
the option that's up there.
I like that one over there in your right hand. Shout out to the Tony sisters. What's going on, Tanya and Wanda? It's good to see y'all. Colin said great items. Thank you, Colin. People putting up a lot of hearts for you. Uh,
Thank you so much.
your
Thank
sisters
you.
are shouting out on YouTube. Hollister, Linda, Nabala, they all showing love. Um, Christian said, I'm heading over to your website right now. Appreciate it. Everybody, love the support. Let me tell you something, makes the world go around, and Malika's just a wonderful person. Her and her mother, they don't bother anybody. They're just beautiful people.
Thank you,
And
Bill.
that was another reason why I married her too. So let's if you have anything else you want to show, if not, let's talk about design interactions.
Yeah, so we kind of this kind of leads into it, right? Because our website we've had up, it goes through different phases. So I think about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I changed the website, and then over the last few days, I've been changing the website again. So there are still a few more things I want to do, but I had to add all of these products, which was quite interesting. So we're almost there. The calendar will be out in about 2 weeks, but you can pre-order your 2021 calendar, and the miniature book will be up on the website. So you, my dear, and my mother are very fortunate because you have your very own web designer, web developer, me.
Yeah.
You don't have to look
I'm
for
waiting
one.
for
You'll
Real Talk
have one.
Chronicles. I'm
Yes, you're
waiting.
next
Let
in
me stop. No,
line.
but yeah, I know. But the beautiful thing about it, and that leads to design interaction. Let's talk about that. I mean, you do it for your own, but you were working, and let's talk about how the pandemic and things like that caused uh you to start. Yeah, talk about it. Go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
about that.
Yeah, all that.
It's interesting, we never know which direction life is going to take us. So, if you remember, I mentioned a little while ago, I was working for Morgan Stanley, and in December, there was a massive layoff. I had only been back with the company for 6 months, and this past December, they laid off 1,500 people right before Christmas. I think it was December 9th to be exact. They laid off 1,500 people. And the crazy thing is the girl next to me was laid off and I'm consoling her. And then I go back upstairs and I was, in that area, the next one. So it was a global layoff. Like I said, 1,500 people, and yeah, that happened. So what do? I go home. You saw me, right? I
Yeah, I
go
was
home.
there. I was there. I was
You were
there.
there. I called you on the way home, like, Bill, Mom, guess what? I just got laid off. And as soon as I got home, I hopped on my computer and started sending out my resume. So, it's just me. I'm not going to sit there and mope. It was a shock to all 1,500 people, obviously, right before the holiday, but it happened. So, I was able to, because I keep my resume up to date, I was able to get an interview pretty quickly, and I was able to land a contract job right after the holiday. So I started with that contract job. It was an engineering firm, still doing design. And March, what happened? COVID. So they laid off all the contractors. And
Right, right.
never in a million years would have thought I would have been laid off twice.
Me neither. I'm
I
just
know,
joking.
right? Exactly.
I'm just, I'm just,
So
I'm
I
just playing.
It's crazy. Like, and I'm smiling and laughing about this. Of course, I was shocked.
But the beautiful thing
I was
about it is,
shocked.
I think we were in a great financial place where it
Yeah,
it
and stay
it
paid.
didn't hit us. It didn't hit us like that. I mean,
Yeah.
God forbid if we weren't right at that point, because that could have been a traumatic on a relationship, or just a person in general, and
Oh,
and psychologically not being able to depend on one another. I mean, you have investment properties and things of that magnitude, but the bottom line is that you had your ducks kind of set up, which was a great thing. But like I said, for those who didn't at that time, and people that are still rebounding from that. Shout out, this is everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I'm interviewing Malika Vaughn Forster today. And I just want to shout out everybody that's chiming in. Melvin, I see you. Christina said, Bill, you two are adorable and you support and encourage one another. Black love matters. Thank you. What's up, Yolanda? Darren Joseph. Uh, Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. Latanya said, yo, mugs can hold a lot of wine while working at home and Zooming with coworkers. Absolutely. That's what we do. We drink as we work. That is the new thing. Barry said we could see these on he knows a person that if we need to talk about shirts. Thank you, Barry. Carla said she would love to wear one of Diane's paintings on her chest. So, shout out everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I'm interviewing Malika Forster, and she is talking about being a small business owner. She is talking about soft illusions and how it all came to fruition. And now she's talking about design interaction and how she got here from being laid off due to the pandemic. Let me ask you a question. And how did you deal with the pandemic?
Yeah, Bill. Interesting. So at first, I want to say, about that, like those two layoffs, and I kind of laughed through that part of it, but it was a shocker, especially in December, because I'm like, oh, I just got there, but they say, when you're last hired, first one.
First fight, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't until I got home and someone sent me an article that I read that there were 1,500 people globally who were laid off that day. So not good. What could I do? I'm not working there anymore. That's it. So it did bother me, but I'm not the type of person to just let something just sit for a long time. I
Right, right,
put a time limit on that, and then just start thinking about, okay, what's my next game plan? And as much
right,
as we like nice things and like the shop, thankfully we both are smart about, putting a little something aside. So, felt good about that. And with the other layoff, with COVID, I felt a bit of relief, I have to tell you, because I was not comfortable at all at that other job. At first in January, I was like, okay, but I sat next to somebody who had this like nagging cough all day, and then you keep reading these articles. I would get the CNN alerts about what was going on, and every day I always say my prayers, but even more so then I didn't know what was going on. I'm a germaphobe already to begin with, so I felt a sense of relief with that second layoff in March because I was so thankful that I didn't have to get up and go into that office, again.
Hmm. Hmm.
So what did I do? How did I feel about the pandemic? Well, personally, I took a couple months during that whole time. I think I was just glued to watching TV, Cuomo, praying a lot. We were checking in on our friends. And then I started to do some soul searching. And I came to the realization that I never want to sit in someone's cubicle if I can help it ever again. And yeah, that's a nice dream, right? But how do you make that happen? And so,
Married Bill Foster. Oh, sorry.
uh,
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
yeah.
No, I'm just playing. Just
No, I
playing.
know
But anyway, yeah.
it's cool. I know you're playing, but one thing I think that you can attest to is even being in a relationship with you, I never
I'm
rely.
watching. I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead. No,
I'm,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not scared, but I wasn't brought up that way to depend on anyone,
Right, 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 right.
man or woman, no one. Like I wasn't raised that way. So
No, I agree. I agree. You're very independent, and I appreciate that about you. I mean, I really do like that because anybody knows, anybody from the old real talkers or anybody that knows me, I'm like I have no problems holding my woman down, but listen, I need to know that you can get that money too. Because let me tell you
yeah,
something. It's great. It's great when we can form Voltron. You know what I'm saying?
yes, it is. It's a good thing. So I like I said, I wasn't raised that way, and it was nice to know that you were there for me, that you had my back. I definitely and still do, and I appreciate that. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I'm a woman about being independent, being self-sufficient, and earning my own living. So
Right.
with that being said, I put on my thinking cap and said, okay, I'm at that point, back in March, April, May. But everybody was working from home. And I love being home. I love working by myself and listening to my music and being creative.
You
You can tell I can sit in there for hours
you
and,
can. You really can. Oh, sorry. I
and
didn't
be in
know.
my own zone. So, so, I wanted to think of a way that I could use the skills, use my education and my past experience to make it work for me. This is a dream. This is something this is how I see my life. Now, what did I have to do to make that happen?
Let me
And
ask you a question. First,
the
before I ask
wheel,
you this,
I went with what
yes. What, what, wow, that's so funny. I'm interviewing you, and I get like mental block.
I
Uh,
was scared. You nervous, huh?
you know, shout out to everybody that's watching. D is in the building. Thank you, D Rodriguez. It's always good to see you. Dana. Um, Annette in the building. Sonia Solomon is in the building. What's up, Sonia? Long time. How are you? We appreciate you all for chiming in. This is Bill Foster, Real Talk Chronicles. I get the pleasure of interviewing my wife and ask her how it is to be a business owner, small business owner. I she's has Soft Solutions. She shares that. She co-owns that with her mother. Then, due to the pandemic, she started her own business, um, Design Interactions. And we talked about. She just mentioned how it is for her. She didn't want to go back in the office, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can contest to that. Working from home, and she not wanting to go back to the office setting due to this pandemic. Linda is being Linda talking about yes, independent. Be quiet, Linda. She also said the epitome of where one door closes, another one opens. Exactly. Hollister, like cubicle free. Exactly. Oliver, like I said, yes, we did. We formed Voltron, Wu Tang. Absolutely. Arcada said the pandemic because became a blessing for most when the enemy set it up to hurt and destroy. God is an amazing. Stay prayed up. Thank you. And she also said she's going to go broke on the website. We got you. You know. So where are you now with Design Interaction? Because how long have you been building sites and things of this magnitude? Because I tell people like you're a professional. You deem an expert, and I feel that you've been doing this for so many years, and this is what you went to school for. So elaborate on how your time frame in that.
So it's been over 20 years that I've been, in the tech field in some way, shape, or
Mhm.
um, and developing websites. So I started teaching at community college at night. I was teaching an HTML web design course. So for those of you who may not know what that is, it's code. So my class was from 6 to 10. I had one of those late night classes, and here I'm teaching them how to, type one character at a time, design websites. So thankfully, life is a lot better. Technology is enhanced. Things are easier to get around. Um,
Right,
so I don't know, around 20 years, 15, 20 years for websites, something like that. It's been a long time.
right.
A couple months ago, it's interesting, Bill, now that I'm thinking about it, I purchased my website name, Design Interactions, and designinteractions.net. I purchased that right after I was laid off in March. So it was in March when I actually purchased the name.
Did something come about you where you was like after the design, like, I remember, I think, let's play this out for everybody that's watching. You got laid off, the wheels are turning. When did you come to yourself and say, like, I don't want to go, I don't ever want to go back in the office, and I'm going to start my own business?
So Soft Illusions has been around for 10 years, right? So I've been working full time all these years and still running Soft Illusions from
Right,
Tuesday.
right.
Um, you can do things online, so I didn't have to physically be there all the time. It worked.
Hmm.
My mom and I would have conference calls, honest to goodness, like on my lunch break. I would take a walk, just around the city or that little area, and I would have her in my ear and we're talking about the business. So, a lot of times people are working full time, but they have dreams of owning their own business. But we all have bills to pay. So that doesn't mean suppress your dreams forever and ever or wait until you retire from that job. I mean, to each his own. But I just feel like, there are a few minutes in every single day that people should take to dedicate towards bettering themselves or working towards their actual dream. So for me, that was, on the drive into work, I was thinking about it or talking to her about some different ideas during my lunch break and on the way home after work, when I would get home. I just found little pockets of time to work on what it was that I needed to do. So fast forward to this past March when I'm sitting at home and I purchased this name. Now what? I wasn't ready. Soft Illusions was good. It was where it needed to be. But in terms of me branching out on my own, because I started sending my resumes out again because that's the comfortable thing to do, right? It's
Yeah.
easy. That's what we're used to doing. I was working in corporate all these years and getting that paycheck every 2 weeks. And it's scary as all hell to wake up one day and say, oh, I'm not getting another paycheck in 2 weeks because I'm laid off. You get unemployment if the city, get the system right and
Yeah.
start distributing that. But I couldn't sit on it. So I
Wow.
prayed. And
I was scared too.
I know you were. I know
I'm
you
just saying.
were.
I just answer like everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I'm chopping it up with my wife, Malika Vaughn Forster. We are in the special segment of small business owners, and this is a beautiful segment. It means a lot. I'm glad it was her idea to add this segment. This is her baby, her puppy. So it was just a good idea that why not she be spotlighted? Because one, this comes full circle. It's small business. That's what she has. She has started another business. Um, she helps me with this business, this Real Talk Chronicles business. So this is just a full circle conversation right now. So I'm so proud of you. So go ahead, sweetie, continue.
And one thing as I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about it, everything is connected. So you know how you say stay in your lane. I have stayed in my lane for all these different jobs or even the business that I've started with my mom. Like I don't physically paint the paintings, But I was in my lane because I do have a degree in business and I do understand, how to set up a business, market a business. I'm
Right.
still learning, right? There's always room to learn. But I stayed in my lane. I didn't try to go out and paint the paintings. I said, no, I'll be the other side of the brain, the business side. In terms of me starting design interactions, I'm in my lane. This is something that I went to school for, something I've actually been working in and doing for a couple decades now. And that's why I felt so confident about going ahead and taking that step forward. I wasn't confident at first. At first I said, okay, I'll purchase the name, but something stopped me. I wasn't ready. That's just plain and simple. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. I wasn't ready to take that step forward yet. And
Right.
I just honestly, I prayed, Bill, and I did my research, and I got my stuff together, and I said, you know what, you can do it. And and it was by chance. I have to tell you, a girlfriend that I went to high school with, she put a post up on our Facebook that she was starting up a restaurant, and she wanted to know if anyone needed if anyone knew a web designer. And I saw it and I scrolled and then I went back to it because I'm like, maybe this is a sign. I was planning to start up this business, and here I know someone who is in need, and it worked out. I reached out to her. I developed her website for Duke's Cafe, and
Mm-hmm.
she just had her grand opening. Unfortunately, we weren't able to attend, but
Mm-hmm.
that made me feel great that I was able to help her. And then the wheels just started turning. So I was already thinking about it and starting to prepare myself. But once you get that first client and you work really hard at it and it goes well, that helps boost your confidence. Say, okay, I can do this again and I can do this again. So we're just getting the word out. So far, it's been, what, 3 months now. So I think it's off to a great start. And my job is to continue to market myself. And that's why I appreciate you interviewing me and allowing me to have this platform to, highlight other small business owners.
Oh, absolutely. Shout out to Darren Joseph and people like that. Kim Shears in the building. Mike Trent says, a great show. I got a great guest. Absolutely. Um, you know, what would you tell individuals that um, think about starting their business but are afraid to take that leap of faith?
First thing is the praying. I pray about every single decision I make, and I also sit quiet because the answers do come, and it's scary because there's things in my head sometimes it's like doubt, but I just try to push them away, and I rely on my faith and just have confidence in knowing that if this is something I feel passionate about and I start talking to people and start getting good feedback, then I realize, okay, maybe I'm onto something. So, what has helped me is just taking that one little step. No, no, no. Taking that second step. Because my first step, remember, was back in March, purchasing the name. That was my very first step. But then, X number of months later, I took another step and that helped me. So it's been interesting because since I put myself out there a couple months ago and said, hey, I have a new business, I'm designing websites for people, and I've been talking to people and listening to their ideas. I've also been talking to other people who are in the same boat that I was in. Oh, they have been thinking about starting their own business for different reasons, but just haven't taken that step yet. And if I can share my story and let that be an inspiration to somebody else to go ahead. I mean, honestly, what's the worst that can happen, right? If it's not going to work, then I'll know, then I can go in a different direction. That's it. Like no one's going to get hurt over this. So
Yeah.
all you do is you just try. You put your best foot forward and have a good circle, a good support system around you, and then you just go for it and start small because I've definitely started small. I know that I'm one person and there's only so many hours in a day, so I'm not going to do or commit to more than what I actually can do. And
Absolutely.
and that's it. And I thank you and my mom. I mean, you guys are incredible support system for me. I appreciate that.
Thank you. No, I was gonna ask you that, and segueing into us now. I mean, maybe like you said, I appreciate you saying that I was a good support system, and I tried to be, and I thought I was. But elaborate on what that's like having a good support team in your family, in your
Yeah,
life.
yeah, life's not perfect. So there are times when we do have to vent. There are times when I'm stuck on something that I'm trying to figure out and actually just talking it through. I mean, you don't know how to create a website or you don't know how to paint a painting, but you are great at just sitting there and listening to me. And then
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
no, no, you're great at listening to me, and then you'll give your input from a different
Right,
perspective. So,
right,
um, so yeah, having a good support system, and one thing I want to touch on, Bill, is 2 years ago, not long after our wedding, I had so much going on at work, and I didn't realize how stressed I was. I stressed myself out over somebody else's work. And I'm
right, right, right.
the person to tell people, oh, just be calm about it. And everything I just said to you, organize it and go on at your own pace. And I didn't realize, I knew something was going on at that job where, hey, my workload is up to here, and other people's workload was down here. And
Yeah,
it took a toll on me. I got very sick. I was in the hospital for 4 days. Uh,
yeah.
it took a toll on me.
That was a very scary time in our relationship too. To be
It
honest with
was
you.
scary. Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about myself, but I'm also thinking about my mom. I'm thinking about you, making sure you guys are okay, as well as, making sure that I was okay. And
But what's so funny is it's not even so much. I mean, I think we're both. I call you and Holly and people like that, like yourselves, nurses, and and I always deem that protector hat. But to be newlyweds at that time and to see you really be in a place of close to death. You could have died due to that, that high blood pressure situation because your numbers were off the charts. I never heard of numbers like that before in my
they were
life.
very, very high. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That they thought I was about to either have a heart attack or a stroke. And just thinking about it, it's like, I knew something was wrong. And I'm just so thankful that, I went down to the wellness center and immediately got checked. And that scared me. That really scared me. And, there was a check for myself to say, hey, you got to change your environment. Because none of this stuff is that important that I should get sick. And I had heard stories about other people at that company, in that department, who had heart attacks, or one guy was so stressed out that they had to carry him out. He couldn't even stand up in his chair. Something happened to him. And I always would say that would never happen to me. And
that's why I'm glad I worked in a unionized job, because you know, God, I'd have lost my mind, biting my tongue, and not so
yeah,
much biting your tongue, but just the amount of pressure that's put on you. And people think that
yeah,
due to law enforcement, that was stressful. Like Lindo always said, like I never brought the job home, so I left it there. But you in corporate, you along with people in corporate America, you're always looking for deadlines and meeting deadlines. And I always tell people that, people are always trying to squeeze water out of rock, which,
yeah.
is the hardest thing to do. And,
But
that's,
I just want to say, it was a check to me to say, slow down. Because think about everything I've been telling you and driving here, different states, and, it all sounds great. But again, I am human, and I honestly just was worn out. I was exhausted, and I didn't even know how exhausted I was. I didn't
yeah,
even realize it. And a big part of that stress was the group that I was working for, and I didn't realize how much it affected me. And I vowed to never, ever, ever, and I mean it, never let anything affect me like that ever again. So
Yeah,
whether I'm working for myself, my own business, or whether I'm working for someone else, the bottom line is I will practice what I preach and not overload. Guys, give me this much to do. I say, let it, it can sit, it'll wait. I'm not going to do that to myself.
yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, yeah, be ambitious, have dreams,
Yeah.
but be very mindful of how much you commit yourself to. That's so important.
This is Real Talk Chronicles, everybody. I'm your host, Phil Forster. I had the pleasure tonight to interview my lovely wife, Malika Forster, on what it's like to be a small business owner, to start her own business again. And, due to the pandemic and things of that magnitude, what it's like to reach out, to leap out and embark on a small business during this time when people are not working. You were able to generate a business, which was very, like, like you said, God works in mysterious ways, and it was an awesome time. And because people were sitting home, how to reinvent themselves, and you reinvented yourselves by finally doing what you know how to do the best, or one of the things you know how to do the best. And I commend you and I applaud you. And when you told me about that, I think I was very supportive of that. If I wasn't, please tell me I wasn't, or
No, you
don't tell me.
definitely were.
That's true. I was. I thought about it. Yeah, I was.
All
No,
right, Bill. Pat you on your back. No, you
but
definitely were very supportive, and I truly appreciate that. Um,
right,
I believe that we are all here for a purpose. God put us on this earth for a reason, and we
right,
are strong in different areas. We all have different talents, and
yeah,
you know, just think about all the people that we talked to during those months, spring and summer,
right,
that were sick, phone calls that we were getting, people passing away. I mean, it was like one every other day. It seemed like we were talking to someone, checking on someone, or getting a phone call about someone. And
mhm,
really just take a step back and think about it, and look at your own life. And you have to ask yourself, what am I doing?
yeah. Shout out
What
to
is it
everybody
that
that's watching.
excuse me, I was mid sentence. So, you ask yourself, you ask yourself, what am I here for? And what is it that I want to do? And then you just start doing it little by little. I love
Yeah, that's cute.
it. Go ahead, you
All
can
right.
do your shout out, Neil.
Shout out to everybody that's watching. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, and this is Malika Forster. We are interviewing her on small businesses and starting a small business. I want to shout out everybody. Like Jay Burnett said, the beauty of owning your own business is that you can choose the projects and the jobs you want to pace yourself. Paula, amen. Everyone has a purpose, and the day you find your purpose, that's when you live. God's gift. Tina said, God's gift will always make room for you. I will always employ Malika to come back and chime in and talk to you all. What's up, Celeste? How are you? Annette said, we must always pay attention to our body. Many times we ignore warning signs to be tired. Vanetta said it's also, she says, I'm so glad I don't work in corporate America anymore and have my own business. Carla, corporate America is a you know what and an itch, and I'm not in it. Yeah, exactly. It's just funny things that are happening. Marquetta said, me and my man are going through this right now. We work for the same company, both truckers. Hate my job, but love what I do. He's on the other side in the structure with the company. Came up with a business. Um, Hold on. Came up with a business idea so to free us up and more money, but he is scared and I am confident. So it seems. Hold on, it just moved. Sorry. So business idea free up and more money, but he is scared and I am confident. So it seems like I have to kick start it by myself to show him it will work, but he is willing to support with holding on to his job. All right. Shout out to Cleo Smalls in the building. Uh, Vanetta, health and wellness is extremely important. Everybody, thank you for chiming in. This is a beautiful thing. Thank the YouTubers. for being in here with us. You know, and Malika, happy 50th birthday to you too. Just want to make sure everybody remembers that. You know,
Thank you, Phil.
you don't look it like Jeanette said. Rivera said she thought it was a typo. You right, Jeanette. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I
So
appreciate that. Good genes.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Shout out to Diane Vaughn watching from afar.
Not
So
too far.
yeah. So Malika, let me ask you a question. What's it like being married to me?
Oh, excuse me. Well, Bill, wow,
Yeah.
it's interesting. So what we met almost 6 years ago,
Hmm.
three separate occasions
Right.
in Harlem.
That's where we were.
Yeah, in Harlem. So
Hmm.
the third time, you didn't ask, you said we're going out,
Right, right, right,
right?
right.
And
Because
I said,
you was a little hard headed. I've learned that
yeah,
over the years.
I was chilling, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
No, but yeah, it's been incredible. We were so open with each other from day one. I just remember going for a ride, listening to music. It was just easy. I felt
Yeah.
safe. I didn't tell you where I lived though on that first date.
No, I don't think so. No. Uh-uh.
No, you didn't
Mm-mm.
that easy. But
Mm.
no. But the
No.
bottom line is, it's been great. Like I think I wrote to you the other day, I wouldn't change this journey for anything in
Yeah.
the world. And people may look at us and say, "Oh, they're so cute. Thank you. We appreciate that." And we're always laughing and smiling, but it's not always like this.
No. No, it's not. Not it.
It's not.
No, it's not. No. No.
That we're both only children.
Yeah. No, it's not. I just play
No,
it.
no,
Yeah.
no. We're both only children, and we both like our private time. Remember, I said I can sit at my computer for hours, and Bill's in another room.
Right.
It's just like that, and we have no problem with that at all. Because when I see him, like, oh, hey, Bill, nice to see you.
Right. Right. Right.
um,
I think it's so funny that like like you always say that you what's the word terminology? Do you say nerd or geek or which one is it that
I call myself a nerd. Yeah.
okay, a nerd because you're just such a techie and stuff like that. And it was so funny the other day we were just in the house and you were on a computer and I was everybody who if you really know me, I love my horror movies and stuff. I love seeing people get killed and chopped up and thrown down steps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Dream.
Malika was like, "What are you doing? You in there watching a horror movie?" And I was like, "Yep, I sure was. I was just in heaven with it." And but it was in the same place, but we didn't have to be under each other and stuff like that. Um, you know, it just came up on our anniversary of me asking you to get us getting engaged.
That
What was that like?
proposal, can I just say,
Yeah,
I mean, I know that it was me, and of course, I'm a little biased, right? I'm the person that was being proposed to. But damn, Bill, you did that, right? You did the
yeah,
daughter thing. No, seriously, it was a birthday party. So you threw me a birthday party the year before, in 2016, the first time I had ever had a birthday party as an adult. So
yeah.
that was great. I had a great time and it was fun. Then 3 years ago, 2017, I was helping you plan my birthday party. Remember? We were
Yep.
going to have it downtown at that restaurant, and I think midweek Bill said, "You know what? I got it. You don't have to." I'm like, okay, I'm doing my thing. I didn't pay it much attention. So I think I was in Philly, and I had no idea that you called my mom. That's so sweet. You called my mom. And what did you say?
I don't know. No,
You
it's not.
must
No, no. I called your mother. The beautiful. It's so funny being a man that I am and being the age that I was. I was kind of caught between, uh, you know, old school but not being old school and not caring what somebody would think in a sense. But I knew how much your mother meant to you, and I really did want her blessing. So what I did is I called and I asked her, um, like how like how would she feel for me asking for her daughter's hand in marriage? Because I know how close you two are, extremely close. And I tease you two all the time, like um, I've never seen anybody like that. I didn't have that relationship with my parents. But the one thing about me and with you and her is that I think from the beginning of our relationship, I've always been go, go, go. Like be with your mother because I never when I knew I took care of my mother for so many years, damn the person that would ever tell me about trying to do something without me taking, being there for my mother. So I understand that and I respect that and I admire it with you too. And I always I still to this day, I always joke with you, and I think you talking to me, and you be like, "Yo, I'm on the phone with my mother." I'd be like, "Tell me something." I always play it. Be like, imagine if I was gonna say something about her. You know what I'm saying? But like, but let me know you talking to her. But like I said, I've never witnessed maybe only Tina and her daughter, or like the only two people that I've seen that have that kind of camaraderie and bond, like you and your mother have. And I really love it and admire it. And so I felt like I asked her. I was glad uh, that she said she appreciated it. I'm glad that she said yes. Um, but you know, thank God she said yes because I don't know what would have happened if she just said no. But
So
I'm glad. But I'm glad she
I'm
said
glad
yes.
you said yes
Yeah,
too.
me too. Yeah, thank you, mommy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So it was so cute. I showed her the outfit that I planned to wear to the party because
Uh-huh.
that Thursday evening I was in Philly and I had dinner with my Philly girls. We had dinner at South and it was cool. It was a little get together. And then the next night have the party. So yeah, I had this outfit planned and my mom, I'll never forget, she's like, don't you want to dress up just a little bit more? We do our jeans and jeans and heels and a cute top. I was like, Mom, I'm good. This
Mhm.
will be fine. I'll be good. But I guess, looking back on it, she was trying to throw me a few hints to see if I wanted to get dressed up a little bit more. But I look cute though, right, Bill? Don't you
Oh,
think?
you look awesome, sweetie. And for those who don't know, it's on Facebook right now in the memory.
It's on
Right
Facebook.
there. So if you want
Yeah,
to see,
so
if you weren't at the engagement, you can be there and kind of relive it. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a beautiful thing. Talk about that night.
that night was interesting. Everyone's like, "Happy birthday," and I'm like, I'm not turning 40 or like, but it was just weird at first because there were all these people, and I was like, "Okay, thank you, happy birthday to me." Um, but it's just something I'm not used to having a big party like that. So I remember, I think I went to the restroom on the first floor. We were at Cove, and I didn't even realize that just about everybody had left because there was still still other people at the bar. So I think you came back because I was waiting for Joe, I think, or something, and you must have come back. Like, what are you waiting here? Why are you standing here? And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
I
Yeah,
thought Joe said wait for him, or I don't know what it was. But anyway, yeah, I go down the steps at Cove, and everybody is down there. Everybody.
yeah.
Bill. So all eyes on me, and he hands me the mic, and I'm like, "Yeah, thank you for coming out to celebrate my 21st birthday." I was nervous, but I had to add some humor, and it was
Yeah.
your speech was cool. Everything was nice. It was beautiful. I mean it when I tell you I cannot watch that video without shedding a tear. Like I watched it a couple times a day and shed a few tears, just because I think whoever that girl is that's on that video, she's lucky. She's darn. Oh wait, that was me. No, it was beautiful, and I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Shout out to Cleo Smalls in the building. He's giving me the business. Talking
Cleo,
about
I see you out there. Thank you, Marquetta
yeah,
and
yeah,
Delcina. Yes,
yeah.
you were definitely there.
Thank you all for chiming in. Go ahead, Malika. You want to give a shout?
it,
What is this? What show is this we're on, Malika?
we are on Real Talk Chronicles, the business segment of Real Talk Chronicles. Yes,
Absolutely.
I like that. We
Absolutely.
got to get your website up, Bill. You're next. Soft Illusion website is just about done.
Yeah.
Another day of effort for there, and then we're going to do your site, Real Talk Chronicles. It's time.
So Malika, let me ask you a question. I'm sure in real talk, I'm sure everybody, uh,
Uh-oh.
especially my sisters are chiming in and listening.
Yes.
So what like because Linda always wants to talk about change and evolution, and we talked about this and I always say we definitely upgraded each other. That was a beautiful thing. But what's it like being with me for 5 years? Be honest. Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
you don't have to clear your throat. It's not long winded. You don't have to be long winded. It should be short. It should be
No,
like
I would never give a short answer, but I have to tell you, Bill, this is something that we said to each other, and we always say this to each other. We were good. You played that song at Cove that night. I'm good all by myself, but I'm a force. We're a force when we're together. I mean, but it's true. Like I was good. I was complete. I felt I felt good about myself, right? I'm just trying to grind and hustle. You were complete, you were doing your thing. And that is what I love about it. Like we chose to be together. We didn't need each other. I didn't need Bill. He doesn't need me still to this day. But we like each other. And I always tell him like if we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend or now, husband and wife, I would still be friends with that dude, right? I
yeah,
would still be
yeah,
friends with you. You would still be friends with me because I'm funny too. You have
yeah. I would definitely. Yeah.
we laugh. So no, life is like this, like a roller coaster.
Wait a minute.
And
Cleo said he ain't
I
gonna
can't
hold
hear
it.
you.
Say what? You can't hear me?
Oh, so this probably died. Say something.
1 2 1 2 1 2. I love you. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
All right. So I think your little red speaker died. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good though. Take it out, yeah, because it was causing static anyway. I was trying to tell you that earlier, but you didn't want to listen. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I didn't hear
I didn't
you.
know you were. I didn't know you heard me.
Now,
Oh,
hopefully you can hear me okay.
well, everybody hears you fine, Malika. I hear you great.
So yeah, so life is like this, right? So there's in the beginning, it's like, oh, you're cool, I like you, I love you, and then you go through little bumps, and then okay, we're here, then we go back up. It's life, right? It's nothing to be surprised about. We made a commitment very early on that we want to be together, and
That's
when you
it.
get to know somebody, I said we're both only children.
What?
We're both a little stubborn, both a little selfish, and
Ooh. Oh,
it's
sorry. I didn't know you was
all
listening.
good. But I have to say, and this is just from my perspective,
Mm-hmm.
the different challenges that we've gone through. I mean, gosh, Bill, you had surgery. Who had surgery first? No, I had surgery about 7 or 8 months into our relationship. I
Right,
had
right.
surgery. And then about a month or two after that, Bill had shoulder surgery, was it shoulder? And then you had knee surgery. So within our first year of really getting to know each other, we really got to know each other. It was a lot going on. And I just think that the different things that we went through, it made us stronger. And
Right, right.
I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't. I think, um, everybody knows you're a great guy. You're a funny guy. Um, you sit quiet, which I don't know if too many people know that, but you like to sit quiet and zone out as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we have a good partnership. Like
Right.
we're in love with each other. I think we all know that. But we also have a really good friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Really good friendship. Like I appreciate being able to talk to you about anything at all. And I hope that, you feel the same way about me, that I try to be there and be supportive. And I also am thankful for our extended family. Because remember, when
Yeah.
I first got to New York, I didn't know anybody. The only people I knew were, people at work I started to get to know. And then now 4 years later, I meet you, and gosh, you're introducing me to this person, that person. You started getting mad at me a couple times because I didn't remember somebody's name, or it was just a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know what was wrong with you at one point. I didn't
Yeah, it
understand.
was a lot. It was a
I don't know
lot.
why. I was like, why does she don't listen to me? I tell her to listen. She don't want to listen. Like
But
Linda, listen, Linda. You know what I'm saying? Malika, listen,
the,
Malika. You know what I'm
the
saying?
the New York family, has embraced me like no other, and I truly appreciate that. I mean, I have developed so many friendships outside of you as a
Right.
result of you, and that I'm definitely grateful for.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's watching. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I am interviewing my lovely wife, Malika Foster. And in this segment of Real Talk Chronicles, it's the business section, small business owners. This is Malika's puppy, but I had the pleasure of interviewing her. Shout out to Kim, Vanetta. That's right. He's extraordinary. Exactly. Cleo is giving us the business. He was like, yeah, Cleo, I think you were invited to the wedding. You just didn't come. I don't know what's wrong with you and Nikki. I invited y'all, but don't say we wasn't invited. Um, Marquetta, she said, yeah, he needs you, Malika. Every man needs the missing piece of a strong, good woman on their side. Oh boy. Yeah, yes,
No,
you're right. You're
let
right.
me be
You're
clear
right.
about
Jay
that.
Barrett, love it. True friends and love it.
Let
Exactly.
me let me
What's
be
up, Miss
clear
Forster?
about that.
Lonnie in the building. Go ahead.
Let me be clear about that in terms of need, right? Everyone does need a good support system and needs a good friend. But in terms of in terms of financial, like we didn't need each other for that. In terms of, needing a body next to us, right?
Right.
You didn't really need that. Like it's easy to when you're a good person, you have good energy, it's very easy
Right.
to attract people,
Right.
men. So, that goes for both of us, I
Hmm.
like to say. So as I'm tiptoeing through this subject, but
Hmm.
it was we made a choice, right?
Ah, there you go. Good words.
Yeah,
Right.
no, we did. We made a choice that okay, you're it. I like you and I want you to be it for me. So
Yeah.
so that's what we did.
Shout out to Collins. He said we're both living our best life. Thank you, Collins. We appreciate that. Uh, Carla and the Philly fam has equally received Bill. Oh well, thank you, Carla. You're right.
And
It was also too. I remember somebody almost got it. Got cursed out at the what you call it, but we let that
okay,
go.
no, it's not
I'm
gonna.
sorry. That still burns my behind. Anyway, but it's just great. I love my Philly family. I've grown to get closer to them. I like the ladies. I like the guys. All the guys are crew. Shout out to the Philly that for loving B. You know, and shout out for New York for loving you. And the beautiful thing is we've never had to not share them with each other, and they've meshed very well together because good people do good things, and that's a beautiful thing about the people that are in our lives, and we all appreciate you all for that. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for loving Malika, and thank you, Philly girls, and the guys for loving me. I salute you all. Malika,
Yes.
what would you like to say to the people out there listening? What kind of beautiful words of wisdom that you want to say to them? Or shall we read some of the comments, Jay Burnett? Bill Force, a real good man, never forgot our telephone call back in 2012 when you helped me with a relationship issue. Happy for you, bro. One love. I appreciate that. Thanks, New York, for embracing my girl. Love y'all. Shout out to Uncle Willie. Uncle Willie, exactly. Shout out to all of y'all. Paula, Diagonal League of Law Enforcement, you have been the second most luckiest woman in the world for having a husband like Bill. Say that. Let me read that again because people she heard it, but let me just read it again. She said,
I
"Dag Malika
heard
Vaughn."
it and I
I
read it.
just want to read it again. I just want to read it again. I'll read it in my James Earl Jones
Yes.
voice. Dag Malika Foster, you have been the most luckiest woman in the world for having a husband like Bill Foster, because that's the way my husband and I flow. That's the beautiful way husband and I flow. So I'm luckiest woman on earth. Exactly. And the best you too. Thank you. Audrey Watson, Black Love. Malika, shout out to everybody that's watching. This is Real Talk Chronicles. Let's run through it for them all now. Let's first let's show them the little pieces. You got the speaker back on again?
No.
All right, let's show them the pieces. Let's talk about design interactions. Say something beautiful like you always say to me, and then give everybody some words of wisdom, and we out of here.
Yeah, Bill. Wow, we don't talk this much. 2 hours straight.
Don't say we don't do that. Don't say we do. We do. See, don't start the line because Linda will say something.
I'm just
Linda, you'll say
joking.
something. You know.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah,
Thank you, Holly.
it's been this is an interesting journey that I've been on, that we're on. Um, 10 years in business with my mom for Soft Illusions Fine Art Gallery. Mom, that's woo, that's incredible. So I am looking forward to the next 10 years of being in business with you. The website address for the art gallery is down at the bottom, so it's softillusions.net. We are Philadelphia based, but we ship anywhere and everywhere. Everything that I've shown to you today, most of it is already up on the website. There's just two more things I have to add to the website tomorrow, and then we're good to go. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to give me a call. My number is on the website. I love it. I love being surrounded by the beautiful artwork. I love being business partners with my mom. I love everything about that. I love working with clients and helping them pick out a piece. Delcina just ordered a print from us earlier this year, and she sent a picture of it framed. It looks incredible. It's a print. It's actually this image, which is one of our favorites. You'll see this a lot. It's this image printed on canvas, and she had it framed. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So that is what fulfills us, is knowing that my mom's artwork goes to a good home, I have to say, and goes to someone who truly loves and appreciates her work. And then to actually see it in their space, to see it in their house or see it in their office, that's huge, huge. I
That
think,
is awesome.
are we disconnected?
No, we're still connected, sweetheart. We're still connected.
All right, my screen's frozen, but I'll just keep going.
No, I still got you. I still got you.
Oh, good.
Um,
So that's that. So
so
soft illusions, that's baby number one,
all
right?
right. That's where at the bottom, everybody, if they want to reach you at softillusions.net, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Softillusions.net for all the beautiful artwork. There are a gazillion pieces of art at the gallery and all around, but not all of it's on the website. It's impossible. So just
Oh,
take a look and let us know. Oh, wait, one more thing. She does commission. So it's a lot. I told you I
I'm
got
just
a
playing.
lot
I'm
to
just
say.
playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Sometimes people say, hey, they want a painting of a particular color. Their house has these color schemes. So people have actually brought swatches or color into my mom, and then she's able to paint a painting specifically for them, commission paintings. Really good.
Awesome. Shout out to Andre Richardson that was watching. My man, always in the building, brother. Um, Now, for those people that want to start their own business, a little afraid, but the first thing, and I'll tell everybody. I told the story to OG today. Uh, Daryl, I I think business cards and websites are important because Malika knows. Uh, I do a lot of everybody who knows me. Usually, I know I go around the country and speak on how to interact with law enforcement and things like that. Speak to schools and adults. And I was in the presence of Mariano Rivera, and he does a lot of things for the inner city youth. And we were talking, and I told him what I was doing, and he was like, "Where's your card?" And I was like, "So it is important for you out there when you start, set down a groundwork, a game plan, name, business card, website, build up your product." So I say all that to say because that could have been a client that I could have been working with, going around speaking at his organizations, but I didn't have a card. And I went old school and I was writing my name down on a piece of paper, like really, like, dude. So, then I looked at Malika. I was like, see, if you was supposed to have my card. Remember, we was like, oh, but
I know.
the point I'm making is set up a goal and a plan. So, what what is your advice to people besides contacting you if they need to get a website for their new business? What inspirational words do you have for them to embark on a new thing, a new career?
I'm going to take it back to the basics. See this notepad and a piece of paper? Just start writing it down. You have ideas. I know I've been talking to people. You have ideas of things that you think that you would want to do. Write them down. Start out by just writing down your thoughts and then talking to people that you trust. And I cannot stress that enough because, you know, not everyone is in tune with what you're doing, and just because they don't see it, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. So there are people that I know for sure who were uncertain about us starting up and opening up an art gallery 10 years ago, right? Artists are known for, some of them are known for not really making too much money or not being successful at what they do. I didn't let that discourage me. I heard the comments or I heard whispers of it. I knew this is what we wanted to do, and I knew it was going to be great. So I went forward with it. So it's not to say that you just ignore everything, but yeah, you ignore people who say you can't do it. You still got to try. In terms of people who are working a full-time job and have dreams of entrepreneurship, like I gave you examples of how I would, take my breaks or during my lunch break, I was still working on that goal of mine every single day. I just did a little bit every single day. Weekends, after work, gosh, even you take a walk when you're walking from point A to point B, think about your plan. Think about what it is that you want to do. I was scared when I was laid off twice, 2 times in a row. And I said earlier that, yeah, I purchased the domain name and then I sat on it. I didn't do anything with it. I think that on top of COVID and just listening to all the stories, I was frozen, Bill. I really wasn't sure of myself um,
Mm-hmm.
and whether or not it would work. And yeah, I went through that period, but then I pulled it back to what I knew for sure. I just dug in and did my research. I prayed on it. I talked to you about it, talked to my inner circle, and then I went forth with it. So prayerfully, it will work. And we have to support each other. I cannot stress that enough. That's why we are doing this segment of Real Talk Chronicles, the business segment, because we have to highlight small business owners, not just soft illusions and design interactions, but the rum cake kitchens. I'm working with someone who does yoga now. Our girlfriend Vanetta, who I just look down and I see her name, right? She does massages. And so I'm so excited to hear their stories and to help them bring it into fruition because I just went through it. And if there's anything I can do by just sharing my story, connecting people, developing a website, whatever I can do to help certain people get their word out about their business, that's what we're going to do.
And let me just say this to add to piggyback onto that, everybody out there, please, if you're going to start your own business, if you share your idea, share it with somebody you know who they are, who they are to you by the positive or the negatives that they say in your ear. But the bottom line is Malika didn't share it with anybody that would deter her. She shared it with people that if she got constructive criticism, it was important. She respected the criticism. But the one thing that her mother and I didn't do wasn't say don't do it. So
Right.
the moral of my story with that is like if you're going to start something, let's hopefully you share it with somebody that says go for it. Because the worst thing you can not do is try. You'll never know what happens in your life if you don't try. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If I didn't try to take Malika out, I wouldn't be here today, right? So um,
And Bill, I have to also say, we're talking about small businesses.
Mhm.
Being an entrepreneur is very challenging. It's not, there's nothing easy about that at all. And it's not for everyone. So we're talking to the people who are interested in having their own business and who are starting their own. That's who we're talking to. It's not cut out for everybody, and that's totally fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah. So the moral of the story, like, listen, if get your thoughts and your dreams together, and then put them in play. And then when you need a design, call this young lady right here. Um, do you want to say anything about uh our anniversary engagement? Because we are how many years together now?
About 5.5 now together.
Right, right. Um, everything is beautiful. I love you. I'm so happy that we are together. Appreciate you. You
Look me
make
in
me
my
laugh.
eyes, Bill. Look me in my eyes and say that.
I'm so happy that we are together. I love you, and I don't want you to not know what I'm saying. No, they stop. I use the double negative. Exactly. So everybody, Susan, I used to work with her, Susan Vega. She said, "You and your wife are beautiful people. Thank you for sharing yourselves, your knowledge, love, and insight." Marquita, thank you. Appreciate that kind words. A true blessing is never easy to get. Appreciate you all. Yeah, Vanetta, yes, it is. Yes, it is, but wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Living my best life. Absolutely. Tina King in the building again. Audrey, Paula. So, I mean, what else are we gonna talk about? Because I know tomorrow I have a show. Go ahead. What else you
Yes,
want to talk
you have a show tomorrow. So every Monday and Wednesday, you have Real Talk Chronicles. I
about?
so I know it started years ago, but I'm so glad you decided to jumpstart it. I'm thankful to help you out with it and be a part of it because I'm enjoying watching it grow.
Mhm.
I think the opinions that come on board, some of them are a little controversial, but that's what it's all about, is giving people a platform just to express, what they're thinking about the current events. And we talked earlier about we were originally going to do this segment of the show at Soft Illusions Fine Art Gallery. And the reason we decided not to, and I have to thank my cousin Tina because your call was right on point. There was sadly another murder, I will say, another killing of a young black man in Philly, and it happened last night during your show, um, or I found out about it during your show. So there were, you know, protests and looting that took place, and I think primarily in West Philly, I believe, not close to where the art gallery is, but just to be on the safe side, not knowing, whether or not there were going to be looters coming down into that area, we opted to, not be there, to just stay at home and do it. So,
Right.
like I said, it's challenging because there's a lot of different things that you have to think about. And when you own your own business, but because we have our own physical space, that's also another concern this year that we've never had to, think about on this level. Um, the protest, I don't want to say the protest, but it's the looters that are the ones that are tearing up people's businesses unnecessarily. So not only praying for our business, but I'm also praying for others as well.
Absolutely. Tomorrow, I think my partner that I usually co-host, he will be away from us unless it rains, as he so eloquently put it. But of course, I will be talking about the shooting. I will be talking about voting. If any of you want to chime in tomorrow, chop it up with me, let me know. More than welcome to have some good conversation with good people. Uh, Monday, the first Monday of every month, the Tuesday before election, I'll have Al Taylor on with his segment of Politics with Al Taylor. The second Monday, I think it's the second Monday in the month, as Real Talk with Allison Williams. We'll be doing a segment on lupus. But in between those Tuesdays, Malika will be back with small business owners. So if you're a small business owner and you're starting a business, please reach out to her. We're getting some feedback from somewhere. I don't know what it is. Um, we will have Malika's segment reaching out. I wanted to do a segment definitely on Hispanic month. Uh, I think October was a Hispanic month. I wanted to shout out to all my Latin family. We appreciate you. We love you. Salute you. We are in the struggle together. The conscious ones, not the unconscious. We still try to save souls. Also, too, I think Sister Brenda had informed me too. I think this was like the domestic violence month too. So, I didn't get a chance to do a segment on that. So I might have to piggyback on that. Please, people, hold yourselves accountable during these times. Go out and vote, vote, vote. This is a countdown. Shout out to the communities that are doing early voting, the people that are getting out doing that. I see the posts. I like the posts. I'm sharing the posts. Uh, I think you know where the Forsters stand. So it
Yeah.
is what it is. Uh, I'm
I'm
trying to get.
looking forward to casting our vote. I really am. So we're going in person. In case anyone's curious, we're going in person, and we will be doing that in the next couple of days. Early voting.
Absolutely. So everybody get out there and vote, vote, vote. I don't care. I don't care. No, I do care. But I wanted to say, but I just want people to vote. I really don't want to talk to anybody who's not voting. Don't be too awakened that you can't vote. Don't have that much disdain for the Democratic Party that you're going to vote for the Republican Party. And I'm just talking about on this time. This segment is not about that, but I just want to make sure everybody gets out there and vote. Because tomorrow and Monday will be the last two times I think I'll be talking to you before the big the big day. So, Malika,
Yes.
you want to say goodbye, and I'll say goodbye. You want to close? I want to close. Who want to close?
I just want to say I really enjoyed this. Thank you again for interviewing me. Thank you for embracing my idea of spotlighting small business owners.
Hmm.
It was interesting to be this side of it. Usually I'm either next to you or in the background. So hopefully my story helped inspire other people. I mean, I'm marketing obviously what I do, soft illusions and design interactions, but I'm also hoping that sharing my story inspire others for what it is that they're trying to do.
Well, I'm sure we'll come back in December because that'll be December or January. That'll be the anniversary of Real Talk Chronicles. Due to the passing of my mother, and then I started it in 2008, and it's grown, and then like due to health issues, I stopped it. But I'll wait until December to really kind of have that conversation with you um, before then. So I think anybody out there that's starting a small business, please reach out to Malika. We will be reaching out to you to ask you if you want to talk about small businesses because that's what this segment is. It's the second two. It's every second Tuesday of the month, or what is it? What is it? I don't know. I'm trying to find it. Don't hold me accountable to no date. I don't want to know the date. I'm trying to figure it
How
out.
old are you again? 10, Bill? You're 10.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stop it. All right. I
It's
know.
every it's
Go ahead.
every other Tuesday. Every other Tuesday.
Okay. See, I knew it. I knew it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, so I'm so looking forward to yeah, I mean obviously we're gonna skip election night, but we will pick up again after that. But I'm looking forward to talking to other business owners and getting I, I'm I'm really looking forward to it because I so enjoyed the conversation with Audrey last week, and I have
Right.
people I've been talking to. It's not just for women. It's not just for women of color. So anybody and everybody, if you're interested, you have a good product, you're already out there, you want to showcase it, reach out to me and let me know. We can talk about it here on Real Talk Chronicles.
Exactly. With that being said, that is Malika Vaughn Foster. I am your host, Bill
Wait,
Forster.
and Bill, you're off the hook, I have to say, because you asked me, what is it like to be married to you? But I didn't get the chance to ask you, what is it like being married to me?
Good
Mhm.
night, everybody. Now, listen. uh,
You think you're slick, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah.
no, let me tell you something. The one thing I'll say real quick before we go, um, the beautiful thing about being married to you is that I have learned what it is like to honestly compromise and share from an only child's perspective, and just from, as Linda would say, a selfish person's perspective. Forget Linda. Anyway, Linda. Anyway, but um, to really know what love is about, you have to compromise. You understand what I'm saying? And for those who know me, I've changed my life considerably, and I also tried to implement that lifestyle in this relationship. To a certain degree, they kind of can mesh and not mesh. But the beautiful thing about it is, I think we did it at the right time for both of us. I think we were mature enough to do that. Um, and yeah, it's like, you know, I've always said to people that I've dated a lot of women in my life, and I've dated women that on TV, show business, you dated people in the industry, you know what I'm saying, things like that. But the one thing I will say is that I've dated a lot of people that may kiss my ass.
Oh, don't say that
I'm
again.
not going to say the other thing.
Okay.
A lot of people that may do lick but behind, but I haven't. But no, but I'm trying to say, but you're the one person that will clean my behind. You have me all the way. I know that that you will do that because you love me. I mean, you referenced it earlier when we first got sick in the beginning of our relationships. We saw each other at our most vulnerable states, and within a year of our relationship, and I cleaned you, you cleaned me, and that was a testament to love that I don't even think we knew we loved each other yet like that.
Right.
So I say all that to say that that transcends anything, any disagreement. I think we've learned how to disagree with each other. We learn what buttons not to push and what buttons to push. Um, we learn how to give each other our own time out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think we're mature about our relationship, and which is it is cool. And I think, and that's just it's a testament to, I think, growth and who we are as individuals, and things of that magnitude. You know, so I appreciate you. I love you. I support you. Um, and you know, let's see if we can put another 50 on the earth, right? Together, right?
Yeah. Another 50, and remember, it's levels. We're just gonna keep building. We're gonna keep building together.
I'm building.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know how I am about time. We've been talking for 2 hours and 22 minutes. I can't believe it.
I know. I said good night. You don't want to let
I know,
go.
no, I do. Thank you for listening. I wasn't sure if anyone would be interested.
Listen, everybody's all over the place. You, and
Thank you. I really appreciate you.
YouTube is popping.
Yes.
Facebook is popping. So it's all. What's up? What's up, Corey in the building? Thank you, everybody. That's Malika Forster. I'm Bill Forster. We appreciate you. Come back tomorrow. I'll be here 7 o'clock talking about the shootings in Philly. Back to the some other deep stuff. I might have to go back to the old school segment one day of how we used to talk about relationships, but I'll get into that. We'll pick another day where maybe we'll chime in on that, just talking about some relationships, because people out there, what is like dating during this pandemic. I don't know. I can only be an ear and a vessel to listen, but
Yeah.
otherwise than that, I am married to that lady over there. She's married to me. Whee! Everybody, have a good evening.
Thank you, Phil.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Malika.
Bye.